Hey everyone, we're excited to be here with another video for you. My name is Sam and I'm an autism researcher.
Hi everyone, I'm Jacklyn and I'm an autistic occupational therapist.
So today's topic is going to be about friendships and relationships. Um, our friendships and relationships can play a really big part of our life. And one question might be, what is a healthy relationship like? How do we know if we're in a healthy relationship? So there's a few signs of this. The first one is that you should feel safe and comfortable with the other person. Um, in a healthy relationship, oftentimes you'll be able to do fun activities with the other person. Maybe you can go to a restaurant together, or maybe go for a walk together, for example. The other person should also be kind and supportive to you. For example, if something good happens to you, they might tell you congratulations or be happy for you. And if something bad happens to you, they might feel empathy to you. Um, and it's also really important in a healthy relationship that you can have time by yourself as well. So even though you might really enjoy spending time with the other person, you can also spend time on your own or with other friends. Um, and part of healthy relationships are boundaries. So boundaries are kind of like the relationship rules that keep us safe and keep our relationship safe. So one example of a relationship rule or a boundary is personal space. A lot of people might have preferences for how close we stand to other people. And that could vary based on how well we know the person. So maybe if you meet someone for the first time, your boundary is that you prefer not to be touched by the person. And that's just an example of a healthy relationship boundary.
So here are some questions to help you decide and figure out what your boundaries are because everyone deserves to feel safe. So number one is, what kind of touch are you comfortable with? How much personal space do you need? Whether that's physical space or emotional space. Number two is, how much time do you want to spend with that person? Number three is, how much do you want to text them or call them or communicate with them? Number four is, are there things that you are not comfortable talking about with them? Anything that's really an off limits topic for you that makes you feel unsafe? So here are some examples of boundaries. Number one is touch. So maybe, for example, you're okay with high fives, but don't really want to go further than that, such as hugging. Number two is thinking about your boundaries around time. Maybe you're happy to meet once a week with someone for a couple hours, but don't want to spend every day with them. Number three is texting or calling. Maybe you don't want to text during the week because that's when you're really busy with work or school. And you only really have the emotional space for texting on weekends. Number four is topics. Maybe you're not comfortable talking about things like politics or religion because they could be triggering for you.
So let's look at an example of a situation that could be a little bit tricky. You might have a friend that you care about, but maybe that friend is texting you so many times a day that you feel a little bit of stress. It could be that they're texting you a lot, and as soon as you text them back, you get another text from them. And maybe you're not sure if your friend will be upset if you text them less often, but you need a little bit of space here. How could you handle this situation? Well, you have a couple of different options. One is that you can turn your phone on airplane mode or silent. This will mean that you don't see the text from your friend. And that way you might feel less pressure to reply to all the texts right away. You can also tell your friend your boundaries. This might help your friend understand that you need fewer texts. So some ways you can tell them this is to say, I can't talk right now, I'm having a busy day. I'll text you back when I'm ready. You can also say to them that you're glad that you're friends, but texting is very stressful for you and that you prefer hanging out in person. And you can maybe offer a way to hang out in person, like meeting for coffee. This way, your friend knows that you still value the friendship, but that you need fewer texts. Um, and something that's very important is that in a healthy friendship, your friend should respect your boundary. If the friend doesn't respect your boundary and they keep texting you a lot, even though you've already asked them to send fewer texts, you can talk to a trusted adult about it. And you can think about whether this person makes you feel good and safe, or if the person makes you feel bad about yourself or feel a lot of stress. If this friendship is making you feel a lot of stress, you might want to consider ending the friendship.
So here's another pretty common situation. Let's say your friend has been feeling really anxious recently and you've been spending a lot of time with her, and all she wants to talk about is how sad or anxious she's feeling. And you're happy to listen to your friend and you want to be supportive, but you also want to be able to just talk about casual things with her, like your latest hobby or your dog, or what you've been learning about in life or in school. Okay, and so here are your options for boundary setting. It is important, if you really care about this friend, to validate her feelings and show compassion for what she's going through. Um, but also, it's important to share how you're feeling about it and how it's starting to be a little bit overwhelming to you. And maybe you're starting to feel anxious because of how much you're hearing about her anxiety. So then you can share a little bit about how it's making you feel. And number three is you really need to find a way that both of your needs can be met. So maybe you can come up with a solution that could be you only spend the first 10 or 15 minutes talking about feelings of sadness or anxiety, and then you move into more casual or less intense topics.
So thank you very much for watching my video. We'll hope to be back in the next couple of weeks with some more videos. And, yeah, take care.